Good evening. I'm going to call the meeting of the Wakefield Town Council of September 23rd, 2024 to order. I'm going to ask everyone to rise and face the flag and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. I see we have all 7 town councilors in attendance and town administrator, town council as well, and Sherry on the TV. Just a brief explanation as to why the town administrator and I are dressed down to this extent tonight. We participated today in the Citizen Scholarship Foundation golf tournament over at the Bear Hill. It's run every year around this time in September, and I think raises a pretty significant amount of funds. And while I wasn't the recipient of any award today, I would like to say that our town administrator won a closest to the tee, and there is his
Pin. Close to the pin.
trophy, closest to the tee. Yeah, you're always close to the tee, right? Yeah. Closest to the pin. I think it was on the 3rd hole, was it?
Seventh.
7th hole. Okay, well, there it is. And
There it is.
everybody can pass
It's the
that
only
around
trophy I've ever won in
and take a
golf.
look at it. Well, it's one more than I have won. Sherry, do we have any public engagement tonight?
No, we do not.
Okay, we'll move right to number 5, which is debt service. This is a transfer of $1 million to the general fund, from the general fund to the debt service capital needs account. I believe, town administrator, this is something we do every year.
We do this every year. It's part of our financial process. And actually, when we set up the debt service fund many years ago, this was part of the and kind of enabling documentation, so to speak. So it's all accounted for. It's all been appropriated. We just need to move it over so we can pay our bills.
So, Mr. Chairman, I would move that we transfer $1 million from the general fund to the debt service capital needs account as described by town administrator.
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor? All opposed? Sherry, I believe we have 7-0 there. Moving on to item 6, regulatory agreements. This is an authorization for the chair to sign regulatory agreements, and I'm going to refer that over to the town administrator for a brief explanation.
Okay, as the council is aware, the town of Wakefield enters into regulatory agreements with the developer, whoever that is, and the Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities whenever there is a 40B project or one of our inclusionary zoning projects. And these get signed routinely, an agreement comes out, and the big thing I look for in the agreement is how many affordable units are there, and that's already in the decision, so I'm like looking at the number, matching the number, and looking at the makeup of the units, how many are 3, how many are 2, how many are 1 bedroom, and again, that's all part of either the 40B process or the special permit process. And normally those come through and they're signed and they get recorded, and there's absolutely no issue, and I think anybody who's been chair has signed them before. Because there is a Board of Appeals decision and they need to get signed so they can go on with the project, and so we can get credit for the units on our subsidized housing inventory. Unfortunately, from a legal standpoint, and any attorney that has done real estate will probably agree with me, portion of the land at 200 Corner Powers Ave is what's called registered land, which means that sometime during the history of that property, somebody went and petitioned the court to actually have the court declare who the title owner of the property was and what, if any, encumbrances are on the title, whether there are easements or restrictions or what have you. So the registered land court kind of really feels very vested in anything that gets recorded on that property. So when we went to record the regulatory agreement here, the land court said, well, we really would like to have a vote authorizing the chairman of the town council to sign this, or we won't sign this agreement. So our town council drafted this, so the chairman of the town council can sign this, so We'll be all ready to go on 200 Corner Powell Ave, and we'll get credit for, I believe it's 79 affordable units that we certainly want to get credit for. And I don't know if Tom wants to add anything, but I think we're pretty much covered it.
Yeah, there are basically two ways of handling an agreement like this. We could either have all members of the town council sign, or we could have them delegate that ministerial task to somebody, and logically that would be the chair. In the past, we have asked the chair to do it, as Steve has said. I think this just formalizes our past practice and makes sense.
So, Mr. Chairman, I would move that we grant authority and authorization for the chair of the town council to sign regulatory agreements subject to the standard review as described by the town administrator.
Second.
Any discussion?
Just a point of clarification. Do you need that motion read as sort of drafted on the,
As the draft?
As drafted
I
in the
don't think so.
packet. Okay.
I don't think so. No.
good answer?
Any other discussion?
Only for bonds.
I guess I just have the question, just because the way it's worded, it feels like we're signing off not on this for the 200 Quantapowhat, we're signing off on this forever. That this is a duty of the chair. And does that, I guess my only concern was, did this enable the chair to enter into regulatory agreements without the council?
Well, I'd say nothing is forever. The town council always has the option of
Rolling it back, yeah.
rescinding its authorization. But yes, that's the purpose. The idea is not to have a vote like this on every regulatory agreement.
Right, does that forestall, could that circumvent regulatory agreements coming before us?
Well, the chair cannot sign an agreement that reflects the approval of the town council unless the town council has actually reviewed the agreement.
Oh, okay, so it's not, so then it is purely ministerial, that's, I
Yeah.
guess that was.
And this is limited to the EOHLC.
Yeah, no, I
regulatory
got
agreements.
it, I just
Yeah.
wasn't sure if we were like ceding to Mike, sign off on anything you want for HLC for the next year. Or whomever the chair, because this will presumably, this is a duty given now to the chair that we've codified, right?
That's right.
Okay.
Any other questions, discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? All opposed? Sherry, I believe that was 7-0 as well. Moving on to item 7, licensing. A is Harrington's at 17 to 19 Water Street. I believe in our materials, this was a change in hours on the liquor license from currently, I believe, 1 o'clock on Sunday back to 11 o'clock so they could have a brunch. Am I correct there,
Is it
Steve?
11 or 10? I think it's 10.
10.
10.
10?
10 a.m.
10 a.m.,
For
okay,
Sunday brunch, yeah.
yeah.
So, Mr. Chairman, I would move that we grant Harrington's request for a change of hours relative to their liquor license.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Carney. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, all those in favor? All those opposed? Looks like 7-0, Sherry. B is JRMM Incorporated doing business as the Public Kitchen, 397 Main Street, seeking to add live entertainment to their current license.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve the request of JRMM Inc. doing business as Public Kitchen related to the request to add live entertainment to their current venue space, a part of their license.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Chines. Any discussion on the motion? Counselor Butler, go for it.
Yeah, just in the application, it says entertainment and then sort of parenthetically, it's televisions, music, streaming devices, but is that?
We already have those.
What? They already have those, so this is the amendment to add, is this live
Yep.
music? Is
Yeah,
that what we're looking for? Or
Live
is it
music.
live music,
Yeah.
comedy, I mean, MMA, or?
I don't think it'll be MMA, but I think comedy and live music is certainly
Okay.
in the mix.
We should clarify in this crowd, when you say MMA, do you mean the Mass Municipal Association of Mixed Martial Arts?
That's true. We'll be hosting a conference at the
Yeah.
public kitchen. No, no, that'd be a welcome addition.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Sherry, I believe we have 7-0 on that as well. Item C is Indy Clover, 390 Main Street, seeking a secondhand dealer license.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve the request of Indy Clover for a secondhand dealer license for the location of 390 Main Street.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Chines. Any discussion on the Indy Clover request? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Sherry, I believe we have 7-0 on that. Item 8 is warrants. Counselor Vincent, are you prepared with warrants today?
Yes, Chairman McLean. The first warrant is warrant 6. It's the largest warrant I've seen since I've been doing it. It's $21 million. The breakdown on that is $8.3 million of that is for the Wakefield Contributory Retirement System for the pension fund for FY 2025. The other major amount in there is the $7 million, $7,086,000 for town council. The vast majority of that is for the high school project. There was a $4.1 million invoice for June of 24 and a $2.9 million invoice for May of 24. Frankly, of that $7.086 million, all except $3,858 was for the high school project. The next warrant is warrant number 8. Warrant number 8 is $5,204,188.72. Most of that is the group insurance adjustments and the treasurer. And then the last one is warrant number 10. That's $8,642,779.68. Once again, the major component of that warrant is town council. That's $4.549 million. And all except for $2,600 of that is also for the high school project for the July 2024 invoices. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Item 9, approval of minutes. A, the September 9th, 2024 Town Council meeting minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve the September 9th, 2024 Town Council minutes as presented by the clerk.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Chines. Any discussion on the minutes? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried, that's 7-0. And the item B is our meeting that we had on September 16th, 2024, relative to the bond issuance that we voted on.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve the Town Council meeting minutes from September 16th, 2024 as presented by the clerk.
Second.
Seconded by Counselor Chines. Any discussion on those minutes? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Sherry, I believe we have 7-0 on those. Item 10, announcements. Anybody have any announcements this week? Counselor Chines?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a couple of things. I first wanted to thank everyone involved in Town Day on Saturday. It was definitely not the weather that I think any of us had hoped for. And, you know, that's kind of the challenge of having to plan these things and make these calls a couple days in advance. But, you know, despite the rain, I think it was a good crowd of exhibitors, and I think actually a good crowd of participants as well. I did see a lot of people there enjoying food and company, and it was great to see them. Obviously, anytime we plan this, there's a ton of work that goes into it, whether it's, you know, Jen McDonald and Erin Kokinda in Town Hall, certainly the DPW and the police. I do want to really especially give a shout out to the DPW, just given the weather conditions and all of the work that went into it. Probably, I would imagine, Steve, was sort of doubled because of the rain and the mud and everything else. So thank you for all of that. And one of these days, we will have a dry day for Town Day. Also, did just want to highlight two things coming up. The Wakefield Electric Vehicle Showcase is coming up at Town Hall on Sunday, October 6th. The Environmental Sustainability Committee did this last year, and it was a great opportunity just to kind of learn from your neighbors who have EVs about, you know, what they offer and what the options are. And so that is back by popular demand. And also the Elements Art exhibit is opening at the Albion Culture Exchange on October 4th. And that'll be running Fridays from 5 to 8 and Saturdays from 11 to 2 at the Ace Building in the month of October. So check it out.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other announcements from the counselors? Counselor Vincent?
Thank you, Chair McLean. WAVE is having their 8th annual 5K race to end domestic violence on October 19th, 2024. The kids run starts at 8:45 and the 5K starts at 9 o'clock. I know a lot of town council members run that race. Residents will probably have a difficult time beating the time of most of the town council runners, but they'll probably beat my time. The next one is the Town Council MBTA 40A Subcommittee is going to host a public info session this Thursday, September 26th at 6 o'clock at the Public Safety Building Community Room, or you can also participate via Zoom. And the third announcement is the Housing Production Plan Steering Committee is going to have their second meeting on Tuesday, October 15th at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other announcements? Counselor?
I just have two quick things. I'm actually wearing them both. First, I wanted to mention I had occasion to literally run into Robert Kraft the other night when I was out on a marathon training run, and we were talking about his organization, the Foundation to Combat Anti-Semitism, and he actually gave me this pin here. Now, I'm sure many of you have seen it before, and it is to raise awareness to end Jewish hate and to end all forms of hate. And he was clear that is what this represents. So as we're coming up on a very sad anniversary of October 7th, let us try to all keep that in mind. The other thing that I'm wearing is actually a tie that is recognizing Home Base, which is the organization that I'm running the Berlin Marathon for this coming Sunday. This organization does incredible work focused on veterans, service members, and military families, and their primary focus is what they call the invisible wounds of war. So mental health treatments and programs that are world-class and free to everybody that is able to take advantage of them. And it truly is life-saving work. Suicide is the number 2 cause of death for service members. It's just incredible, and service members are nearly 9 times more likely to die from suicide. So it's a really important cause to me and has been for many years. And so I would encourage everyone to check out the organization. And if you're interested in supporting the work that it does, you can go to my personal Facebook page, and I'm fundraising for the run that my partner and I are both doing. And I'd appreciate your support. Thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other announcements from the council? Yes, Counselor
Actually,
Carney.
I made comment, Ed, I appreciate what you're doing for veterans, and I think it's a very honorable effort. And, as a veteran, I want to thank you.
Councilor Carter, thank you for your support too. You're very generous in supporting my run, so
My
thank
pleasure.
you for that.
Any other announcements from councilors? Seeing none, item 11, matters not anticipated for the agenda. Seeing none. Counselor?
So, Mr. Chairman, I would move that we adjourn this meeting this evening and reconvene our next on Monday, October 7th at 7 p.m.
Second.
All those in favor? All those opposed? Seeing none, that's 7-0. Sherry, I declare this town council meeting of September 23rd, 2024 closed at 7:19 p.m.